Commander Alex Sutton opened his eyes to darkness. His body felt cold and stiff, like he had been asleep for too long. Strange noises filled his ears, beeping sounds and the hum of machines coming back to life. Lights began to flicker around him, changing from red to green. Alex tried to move his arms, but they felt heavy. He was inside a hibernation pod, a metal and glass chamber designed to keep humans alive during long journeys through space. The seal on his pod broke with a hiss, and fresh air rushed in. His mind was foggy, struggling to remember where he was and what had happened. The last thing Alex remembered was entering stasis aboard the USS Defender, Earth's most advanced warship. Humanity had faced a terrible threat. They had been losing the war. The fleet was their last hope. Pod sequence complete. "Welcome back, Commander Sutton," said a calm, computerized voice. It was Sentinel, the ship's artificial intelligence. Alex pushed himself up, his muscles protesting after their long sleep. "Sentinel," he said, his voice rough from disuse. "Status report." "All systems returning to operational status," Sentinel replied. "Current date is..." Calculating. Approximately 500,453 years since hibernation protocol was initiated. Alex froze. "That's impossible. Repeat that number." 453 years, Commander. The stasis systems were designed for a maximum of 1 century. However, emergency protocols maintained minimal life support until the revival signal was detected. Alex's heart pounded in his chest. 500,000 years, everyone he had ever known, everyone on Earth would be long gone. He steadied himself against the pod's edge as the room's lights brightened. He wasn't alone. Around him, other hibernation pods were opening. Lieutenant Kate Williams emerged from her pod, her short brown hair sticking up in all directions. She looked around with wide eyes. "Commander, what's happening?" she asked, her voice shaking slightly. Before Alex could answer, 2 more pods opened. Chief Engineer Ethan Gray stumbled out, leaning against his pod for support. His dark skin was pale from the long sleep, and he blinked rapidly as his eyes adjusted to the light. Science Officer Maya Rogers was the last to emerge, her slender frame appearing fragile as she carefully tested her limbs. "Sentinel says we've been asleep for 500,000 years, Alex said, deciding that honesty was the only option. "That's not possible," Ethan said. "The stasis systems weren't designed to last that long." Maya moved to the nearest computer terminal, her fingers tapping the screen. "The logs confirm it," she said after a moment. "The ship entered emergency power conservation mode after the 1st century. Only essential systems remained active." "What woke us up?" Kate asked, pulling her uniform jacket tighter around her shoulders. "An automated revival protocol was triggered by an unknown signal," Sentinel explained. "Origin, Earth." The 4 crew members exchanged looks of surprise and confusion. "Earth, but..." Alex didn't finish the sentence. They all knew what he was thinking. After so much time, what could be left of their home planet? "We need to see," Maya said quietly. They made their way through the ship's corridors. The USS Defender was slowly waking up around them. Lights flickered on as they passed, and the soft hum of machinery grew steadier. The ship was over a mile long, a massive weapon of war designed to protect humanity in its darkest hour. The observation deck was located near the top of the vessel. As they entered, the large viewing window was still covered by protective shutters. "Sentinel, open external shutters," Alex ordered. "Warning, external environment may cause psychological distress," the AI responded. "Override." "Open shutters," Alex repeated firmly. The metal shutters slowly retracted, revealing a view that took their breath away. Earth hung in space before them, but it was not the Earth they remembered. The continents had shifted, forming new land masses. The ocean seemed to glow with strange colors, and the atmosphere contained swirls of purple that had never been present before. "My God," Kate whispered. "It's really been 500,000 years." Maya moved closer to the window, her scientific mind already analyzing what they were seeing. The continental drift matches projected patterns for approximately 500,000 years of tectonic movement. The atmospheric composition appears to have a higher oxygen content than in our time. As they watched, something caught Alex's eye. Points of light, moving in organized patterns across the planet's surface. "Sentinel, magnify Sector 7, he ordered. The view zoomed in, revealing something none of them expected. Cities. Not human cities, but definitely artificial structures. Some were built underwater, visible as glowing domes beneath the ocean's surface. Others rose from mountain peaks with curved spires that seemed to blend with the clouds. "There's life down there," Ethan said. "Intelligent life." "Not human," Maya added, studying the readings on a nearby console. "But some of the biosignatures contain human DNA markers, as if they evolved from Earth's ecosystem after we were gone." Alex felt a strange mix of emotions: relief that Earth still supported life, sadness for the loss of human civilization, and confusion about their purpose. "Here, Commander," Sentinel interrupted. "I am detecting additional power signatures in the solar system. Other fleet vessels are activating." A holographic display appeared in the center of the observation deck, showing the positions of several large ships: the USS Valiant, a heavy destroyer; the Relentless, an assault carrier; the Peregrine, a stealth scout vessel, all part of Earth's last war fleet, all coming back to life after 500,000 years. "Incoming transmission from the USS Valiant," Sentinel announced. "Put it through," Alex said. A voice crackled over the speakers, filled with the same confusion they all felt. "This is Captain Olivia Parker of the USS Valiant. Is anyone out there? What the hell is going on?" "Captain Parker, this is Commander Sutton on the USS Defender. We're trying to figure that out ourselves. According to our systems, we've been in stasis for approximately 500,000 years. The revival protocol was triggered by a signal from Earth." There was a long pause before Olivia responded. 500,000 years? That's impossible. The stasis systems weren't built to last that long." "I know, but the evidence is right in front of us. Earth has changed. There are new species down there, new civilizations. We're picking them up too, Olivia." "Confirmed. And something else. There are energy readings coming from behind Jupiter's moon Callisto. Something big is hiding there, watching Earth." Alex felt a chill run down his spine. "Sentinel." Full sensor sweep of the Jupiter sector, the AI complied, and the holographic display updated to show a cluster of massive objects hiding in Jupiter's shadow. "Warning," Sentinel said, its voice suddenly shifting to a higher alert status. "Pattern recognition complete. Energy signatures match historical records of the collector fleet." Maya gasped. "The collectors, but they're the reason we built this fleet in the first place," Alex finished for her. "The enemy we couldn't defeat." As the 4 crew members stood watching the changed Earth and the hidden threat, they realized the truth. They hadn't awakened by accident. The war they had been prepared to fight 500,000 years ago had never ended. It had only been delayed, and now, Earth's long-dormant war fleet was the only defense for a planet that didn't even remember humans existed. The next 12 hours aboard the USS Defender were busy. Commander Alex Sutton organized his crew and established contact with the other revived warships. The fleet captains agreed to meet via holographic conference to discuss their situation. Alex stood in the command center as 4 figures appeared around the circular table. Captain Olivia Parker of the USS Valiant was a tall woman with stern features and graying hair. Admiral Paul Martinez from the Relentless had dark eyes that showed his concern. Commander Sam Taylor of the scout ship Peregrine was younger than the others, with an alert, nervous energy. The final figure was Captain Leo Wells of the USS Guardian, a support vessel designed for repairs and medical services. "Let's get straight to the point," Admiral Martinez began. "We've been asleep for 500,000 years. Earth has new civilizations, and our old enemy, the Collectors, appear to be back. What's our move?" "First, we need better information," Alex said. "We should send stealth drones to observe Earth and the collector ships without being detected." Captain Olivia nodded. "The Valiant has 12 stealth drones ready for deployment. We can launch within the hour." "The Peregrine can move closer to Earth," Commander Sam added. "Our ship has the best stealth technology in the fleet." The captains agreed on the plan. As they ended the conference, Admiral Martinez reminded them all, "Remember, we're all that's left of humanity. Whatever happens, we protect each other. 2 days later, the fleet captains gathered again to review the drone footage. The images showed 2 main species living on Earth. Science officer Maya explained what they had learned. The aquatic species calls themselves the Meridians, she said, showing images of blue-skinned beings with gills along their necks and webbed hands. They've built vast cities under the oceans and control about 60% of the planet's surface. Maya continued. The second group is the Solari. The screen showed tall, slender beings with feather-like hair and skin that shimmered with gold and bronze tones. They live mainly in mountain regions and have built cities that float in the upper atmosphere. They control most of the land and sky. Are they at peace? Captain Leo asked. No, Maya said with a frown. They're fighting a resource war. Both sides have technology similar to what humans had in the late 21st century. Nuclear weapons, basic space travel within the solar system, advanced computing. Chief Engineer Ethan stepped forward. The most interesting thing is this. He displayed genetic analysis results. Both species carry human DNA markers. They evolved partly from Earth's ecosystem after humanity disappeared. The captains absorbed this surprising information in silence. There's more, Maya added. Both civilizations treat ancient human artifacts as sacred objects. They call humans the forerunners in their myths and legends. So humanity didn't completely disappear, Captain Olivia said quietly. Our legacy continued, just not in the way we expected. Admiral Martinez brought the discussion back to their current problem. What about the collectors? What have we learned about them? Commander Sam's expression darkened. Their fleet is massive, at least 30 ships, each one larger than our biggest vessel. They're hiding behind Jupiter's moon Callisto, but they're moving closer to Earth every day. They seem to be observing both Earth civilizations, just like they observed us before they attacked, Admiral Martinez said grimly. A sudden alert interrupted their meeting. Commander Sam's hologram flickered as he received information from his crew. We have a situation, he reported. A Solari research vessel has detected the Peregrine. They're attempting to make contact. The command center grew silent. This was a critical moment. First contact with Earth's new inhabitants. We should withdraw immediately, Admiral Martinez said, firmly. We don't know enough about the situation yet. Alex shook his head. We were awakened for a reason. The revival signal came from Earth. I think we need to make contact, cautiously. It's too risky, Martinez argued. We need more time to... A new alarm cut through their debate. Sentinel's voice came over the speakers. Warning! Multiple large objects detected emerging from Jupiter's shadow. The collector fleet is on the move. The holographic display showed numerous massive ships leaving their hiding place behind Callisto. They were heading directly toward Earth, their weapon systems powering up. They must have detected the Solari ship making contact with the Peregrine, Maya said. They're accelerating their plans. Admiral Martinez's face hardened. Battle stations, all ships prepare defensive positions. Wait, Alex said urgently. We can't fight them directly. Our fleet is too small and our technology is 500,000 years old. We need another approach. Before anyone could respond, Sentinel announced. Incoming transmission. The signal is being broadcast on thousands of frequencies simultaneously. Put it through, Alex ordered. A deep, resonating voice filled the command center. It spoke in an archaic form of English that sounded strange to their ears. Inhabitants of the third planet. We are the collectors. We seeded your world with our genetic material millions of years ago. We have returned to claim our investment. Resistance will only increase your suffering. They're broadcasting to the Meridians and Solari, Maya said. They don't know about us yet. Chief Engineer Ethan had been searching through the ship's historical databases. His face paled as he looked up from his screen. Commander, I've found something, he said. The collectors. They're the same enemy we faced 500,000 years ago. Earth's war fleet wasn't built to fight other humans. It was humanity's last defense against the collectors. The pieces began to fall into place. Alex remembered fragments of information from before their long sleep. We lost the war, he said slowly, but not before executing a final plan. Humanity appeared to go extinct while preserving their genetic legacy and military assets. Us, in deep hibernation. We were never meant to sleep this long, Captain Olivia realized. The plan must have been to wake up after the collectors left, then rebuild. But something went wrong, Admiral Martinez added. We slept too long, and now they're back. On the main screen, they watched as the collector fleet began systematic attacks on Earth's orbital defenses. Both Meridian and Solari ships tried to fight back, but they were clearly outmatched. We have 3 options, Alex said. We can run and try to find a new home. We can stay hidden and watch as Earth's new civilizations are destroyed. Or we can fight. Lieutenant Kate Williams, who had been quiet until now, stepped forward. There's a 4th option, she said. We use our outdated but still powerful vessels to launch a surprise attack while transmitting all our knowledge about the collectors to the Meridians and Solari. That would mean revealing ourselves, Admiral Martinez said. And likely our destruction. Yes, Kate acknowledged. But it might give Earth's new inhabitants a fighting chance. Isn't that what we were built for? To protect Earth, even at the cost of our own lives? The command center grew quiet as they watched more Meridian and Solari ships fall to the collectors' weapons. We are the last of humanity, Alex said finally, and those beings down there, whether they know it or not, are our children, our legacy. He turned to face the other captains. I say we fight. One by one, the fleet captains nodded in agreement. For Earth, Admiral Martinez said. One last time. The human fleet moved into position behind Earth's moon, hidden from both the collectors and the planet's new inhabitants. On the USS Defender, Alex and his team worked quickly to prepare their plan. The collectors have already destroyed 30% of Earth's orbital defenses, Maya reported, studying the sensor data. The Meridians and Solari are fighting back, but their weapons aren't strong enough. How much time do we have? Alex asked. At the current rate, Earth's defenses will fail completely within 48 hours, Maya answered. Alex nodded grimly. Then we have less than 2 days to make contact with both species and convince them to work with us. The fleet captains had agreed on a risky plan. The scout ship Peregrine would approach a Solari command center, while a small team from the EO, USS Defender would attempt contact with the Meridians. They would reveal humanity's existence and offer their help against the collectors. What if they don't believe us? Lieutenant Kate asked, as she prepared for the mission. We'll be strangers claiming to be their mythical ancestors. That's why. We bring proof, Alex replied, holding up a small device. This contains Earth's history, information about the collectors, and our genetic data. It should be enough to convince them. The team boarded a shuttle designed for underwater operation. Alex led the mission, with Lieutenant Kate, science officer, Maya, and 2 security officers. As they left the Defender's docking bay, Admiral Martinez's voice came through the communication system. Good luck, Commander. Remember, we can't afford to fail. Earth's survival depends on this alliance. The shuttle entered Earth's atmosphere under cover of darkness. They flew low over the ocean, avoiding detection by both the collectors and Earth's defenders. Maya guided them to the largest Meridian city, a sprawling complex of domes and tunnels beneath the Pacific Ocean. We're being scanned, Kate warned as they descended into the water. They know we're here. Send the greeting message. On all frequencies, Alex ordered. Let them know we come in peace. They waited anxiously as the shuttle sank deeper into the ocean. Suddenly, bright lights surrounded them, and several Meridian vessels appeared. The sleek, organic-looking ships formed a circle around the human shuttle. They're not firing, Kate said with relief. That's a good sign. A message came through their communication system in a language they didn't understand. Sentinel quickly analyzed it. They're requesting identification, the AI translated. They want to know who we are and why we're here. Send the first contact. Package, Alex said. And let them know we need to speak with their leaders about the collector threat. After several tense minutes, a new message arrived. They're escorting us to their central command, Maya said. We're being granted an audience. The Meridian ships guided them to an enormous underwater dome. Inside was a city unlike anything they had ever seen. Structures that seemed to grow rather than be built, with glowing plants providing light, and schools of fish swimming freely through open channels. They docked at a central platform where a group of Meridians waited. The blue-skinned beings were tall and elegant, with large eyes adapted for seeing underwater and gills along their necks. They wore simple clothing made from woven seaweed and carried ceremonial staffs. As the humans exited their shuttle wearing specialized breathing equipment, the Meridians stepped back in surprise. One of them, wearing more elaborate decorations that suggested leadership, moved forward cautiously. "Greetings," Alex said, allowing Sentinel to translate. "My name is Commander Alex Sutton. We come from your past, and we're here to help you against the Collectors." The Meridian leader studied them with wide eyes. "You claim to be the Forerunners?" The translator rendered their reply. "The Ancient Ones who walked Earth before the Great Change?" "Yes," Alex confirmed. "Humans. We've been asleep for 500,000 years. We awakened because Earth, our home and yours, is in danger." The Meridians conferred among themselves, clearly skeptical. Maya stepped forward with a small device. "If you allow me, I can prove who we are," she said. The device projected a holographic display showing human DNA sequences alongside Meridian DNA. "We share genetic markers. Your people evolved partly from ours after we disappeared." This caused a stir among the Meridians. The leader, who introduced himself as Ambassador Leary, seemed troubled but intrigued. "The old records speak of a great sacrifice," Leary said. "The Forerunners faced extinction, but left behind guardians who would one day return." "Those guardians are us," Alex explained. "We were Earth's last defense fleet. We fought the Collectors before, and now we've returned to fight them again." Meanwhile, aboard the Peregrine, Commander Sam Taylor was having a similar conversation with the Solari. The avian beings had brought him to a floating city high in the atmosphere, where he met with their High Commander Tarek. The Solari were more aggressive than the Meridians, initially believing the humans to be allied with the Collectors. It took all of Sam's diplomatic skills to convince them otherwise. "The Collectors are the ancient enemy described in your legends," Sam explained to Tarek. "They seeded Earth with their genetic material millions of years ago. They see all life here as their property, to be harvested when it reaches sufficient development." "If what you say is true," Tarek replied, his feathered crest rising in agitation, "why should we trust you? Where have you been while our people suffered and fought each other?" Sam explained humanity's desperate last plan, appearing to go extinct while preserving their war fleet in hibernation. "We were meant to wake much sooner," he admitted. "Something went wrong with our stasis systems." Back in the Meridian City, Ambassador Leary had reached a similar point of doubt. "You say you wish to help us," Leary said to Alex, "but your weapons and technology are 500,000 years old. How can you possibly stand against the Collectors when our most advanced defenses are failing?" "Alone, none of us can defeat them," Alex acknowledged, "but together we might have a chance. You know Earth's current conditions. We know the Collectors' weaknesses from our previous war." At that moment, a powerful tremor shook the underwater city. Alarm signals blared as Meridian operators reported that the Collectors had begun attacking underwater settlements. On the surface, the Solari faced similar devastation as Collector weapons targeted their floating cities. High Commander Tarek received reports of massive casualties and failing defenses. In both locations, the human representatives made the same offer. "We propose an alliance," Alex said to Leary as the Meridian city's shields strained under the Collector attack. Humans, Meridians, and Solari, all children of Earth, fighting together against a common enemy. Leary looked at the destruction on the monitors, then back at the humans who claimed to be their ancestors. "How can we trust you?" the ambassador asked. Alex stepped forward and removed his breathing mask, a dangerous move in the pressurized underwater environment. He met Leary's gaze directly. "Because we're willing to die for the same home," he said simply. "Earth has always been worth fighting for." As another explosion rocked the city, Leary made a decision that would change the course of the war. "Tell us what we must do," the ambassador said. 3 days after first contact, representatives from all 3 species gathered aboard the USS Defender. The ship's largest conference room had been adapted to accommodate the different environmental needs of their new allies. A section was filled with water for the Meridians, while the air pressure was adjusted in another area for the Solari. Admiral Martinez opened the meeting. The collectors have established orbital control over 70% of Earth. Their ground forces have begun, landing in unpopulated areas to set up harvest facilities. Ambassador Leary spoke through a translation device. My people have lost 6 major cities. Millions have fled to the deep ocean trenches, but the collectors are following. The situation is no better for the Solari, High Commander Tarek added, his feathered crest flat against his head in distress. Our floating cities are easy targets. We've lost 4, with 3 more under heavy attack. Alex studied the holographic map showing the collector invasion. We need to strike back immediately before they establish a stronger foothold. With what? Tarek asked sharply. Your fleet is ancient technology. Our weapons cannot penetrate their shields. Maya stepped forward. That's why we're going to combine our technologies, she explained. Each of us has pieces of the solution. Chief Engineer Ethan displayed the results of their combined research. The Meridian biotechnology can disrupt the collector's sensor systems. They use underwater sound waves that, when properly modified, can create blind spots in collector detection grids. Lieutenant Kate continued, and the Solari atmospheric fighters are faster and more maneuverable than anything the collectors have encountered before. They can't target what they can't catch. Our contribution will be our weapon systems, Alex said. They may be old, but the collectors haven't faced them in 500,000 years. They won't be expecting them. Admiral Martinez outlined their strategy. We'll divide our forces into 3 groups. The main fleet will engage the collector ships in the outer solar system, drawing their attention away from Earth. Meanwhile, underwater Meridian forces will attack their ground bases from below, while Solari air squadrons provide cover from above. And the most critical part, Alex added, will be a small strike team that infiltrates the collector command ship. The room grew quiet. Infiltrating the enemy flagship was a suicide mission. What would this strike team do? Ambassador Leary asked. Maya explained, we've developed a special virus by combining ancient human military AI with Meridian biotechnology and Solari quantum computing. It's designed to disrupt the collector's hive mind communication. Who will lead this strike team? High Commander Tarek asked. I will, Alex said firmly, with volunteers from all 3 species. The meeting continued late into the night as they refined the details of their desperate plan. When they finally adjourned, everyone knew their roles and what was at stake, the survival of all life on Earth. As the others filed out, Alex noticed Lieutenant Kate lingering behind. You want to volunteer for the strike team? He said. It wasn't a question. Kate nodded. Someone needs to watch your back, Commander. It's likely a one-way trip, Alex warned her. I know, Kate replied simply, but Earth is worth it. The next morning, High Commander Tarek approached Alex on the observation deck. The Solari leader watched Earth through the large viewing window, his expression unreadable. My people have been fighting the Meridians for generations, Tarek said. We believed they were our enemies. Now we learn that we share ancestors, that we are, in some distant way, family. War often comes from misunderstanding, Alex replied. Sometimes it takes a bigger threat to remind us what really matters. Tarek turned to face him. I will join your strike team, he announced. My people need to see that a Solari leader is willing to fight alongside humans and Meridians. Alex was surprised but grateful. Your skills will be valuable, he said, extending his hand in the human gesture of agreement. After a moment's hesitation, Tarek clasped Alex's hand with his own, taloned fingers. In the ship's laboratory, Maya worked closely with a Meridian scientist named Leary, the ambassador's daughter. They had spent days combining their knowledge to develop weapons effective against the collectors. Your people preserved so much knowledge, Leary said with admiration as she studied human scientific records. Our myths say the forerunners were wise, but they don't capture how advanced you truly were. Maya noted with a sad smile. We're relics now. Your people have developed technologies we never imagined. Leary touched a sample of meridian bioluminescent material that they were adapting for the mission. Together we are creating something new, she said. Neither purely human nor meridian nor Solari, but a combination of all three. Like Earth itself now, Maya observed. In the shuttle bay, engineering teams from all three species worked to modify vessels for the coming battle. Chief Engineer Ethan supervised as Meridian biotechnology was integrated with human and Solari systems. A young Solari engineer struggled to connect power systems designed by three different species. Ethan knelt beside him to help. The trick is to stop thinking of them as separate systems, Ethan explained. Think of it as one new system with different components. The Solari looked at him curiously. Is that how you see us now? Not as three species, but as one? Ethan considered the question. Maybe that's what we needed to become, he said finally. Not just to beat the collectors, but to survive afterward. On the command deck, Admiral Martinez reviewed final battle preparations with Captain Olivia and Commander Sam. The Valiant and Relentless will lead the frontal assault, Martinez said. The Peregrine will deliver the strike team to the collector. Command ship. The Guardian will provide medical support and be prepared for evacuation, Captain Leo added. Martinez looked at the tactical display showing their small allied fleet against the massive collector armada. The odds were overwhelming. We lost to them once before, Captain Olivia said quietly, reading his thoughts. We fought alone then, Martinez replied. This time, all of Earth stands together. As the final hours before battle ticked away, Alex found a quiet moment in his quarters. He looked at an old photograph, the last image of Earth taken before he entered hibernation 500,000 years ago. It showed a planet scarred by war and environmental damage, nothing like the vibrant, changed world that existed now. A message from Sentinel interrupted his thoughts. Strike team assembly in 30 minutes, Commander. Alex put the photograph away. The past was gone. Only the future mattered now, a future that would be determined in the next 24 hours. He made his way to the shuttle bay where the strike team waited. Lieutenant Kate, High Commander Tarek, and Leary, who had volunteered despite her father's objections. They were joined by 2 Solari pilots, 3 Meridian specialists, and 2 human security officers. Everyone knows the mission, Alex said as they gathered around the tactical display. We infiltrate the collector command ship, deploy the virus into their central processing core, and get out if we can. If we succeed, Tarek added, their fleet will be vulnerable to our combined attack. And if we fail? Leary asked. Then Earth falls, Alex said simply. But we will not fail. Throughout the ship and across the fleet, similar scenes played out, as humans, Meridians, and Solari prepared for battle. Ancient enemies had become allies, united by a shared determination to protect their home. The final countdown had begun. The battle began at dawn. The USS Valiant and Relentless led a frontal assault against the collector fleet, drawing the bulk of their forces away from Earth. Their outdated shields buckled under the superior collector weapons, but they inflicted surprising damage in return. They didn't expect us to still exist, Admiral Martinez said from the bridge of the Relentless. Our weapons are finding weaknesses they thought they had corrected. Collector ships turned to face this unexpected threat, just as planned. This created the opening the Allied forces needed. From Jupiter's clouds, Meridian forces emerged in ships disguised as space debris. They used their biotechnology to create sensory disruptions that confused collector targeting systems. At the same time, Solari fighters executed precise strikes against collector engines, moving too quickly to be tracked effectively. The diversion is working, Captain Olivia reported from the Valiant. Collector forces are splitting their attention. This was the moment they had waited for. The USS Peregrine, cloaked with Meridian technology, approached the massive collector command ship. On board, Alex and his strike team prepared for their mission. Remember, Alex told the team, we have 30 minutes to reach the central processing core, plant the virus, and try to get out. After that, the fleet begins its final attack whether we're clear or not. Lieutenant Kate checked her weapons one last time. Whatever happens, it's been an honor serving with you, Commander. High Commander Tarek adjusted his specialized breathing apparatus. My ancestors would never believe a Solari would fight alongside humans and Meridians, he said. Perhaps our descendants will tell better stories. Leary, the Meridian scientist, secured the virus device. This will work, she assured. Them, all three of our technologies combined. They won't be able to stop it. The Peregrine docked with the collector ship, attaching to an outer maintenance port. The strike team moved quickly through the alien vessel. Sentinel had uploaded maps, based on their previous encounter with the collectors, but much had changed in 500,000 years. This way, Alex directed, following the energy signatures that would lead them to the central core. They encountered resistance, strange drone-like defenders that seemed partly organic and partly mechanical. The team fought their way deeper into the ship. 2 Solari pilots fell, protecting their retreat from a swarm of collector drones. Human security officer was lost when a section decompressed. Despite these losses, they pressed on. Meanwhile, the space battle intensified. The USS Guardian moved through the combat zone, rescuing crews from damaged vessels. Captain Leo coordinated with both Meridian and Solari medical teams, treating the injured without regard to species. We've lost engines, Captain Olivia reported as the Valiant took heavy damage. Weapons still operational. We'll continue firing as long as we can. Inside the collector ship, Alex's team finally reached the central processing core. A vast chamber filled with pulsing light and strange flowing patterns that seemed alive. As they prepared to plant the virus, they made a horrifying discovery. These aren't just computer systems, Leary said, scanning the structures. They contain consciousness patterns, thousands of them. What does that mean? Kate asked. The collectors aren't merely harvesting genetic material, Tarek realized, his voice filled with horror. They're absorbing entire species' consciousnesses into their hive mind. Alex studied the flowing patterns more carefully and saw what looked like faces occasionally forming in the light. They're imprisoning other civilizations, he said, consuming them. The virus may do more than we intended, Leary warned. It won't just disrupt their communications. It could release all these imprisoned minds. Plant it anyway, Alex ordered. No one deserves this fate. As Leary placed the virus device, alarms sounded throughout the ship. They had been discovered. Collector forces converged on their position from all directions. We need to hold them off until the virus activates, Alex said. The team formed a defensive perimeter around Leary as she completed the final connections. Outside, the battle reached its climax. The Relentless had taken critical damage, its shields failing. All ships, this is Admiral Martinez. Prepare for final attack pattern. The strike team may not make it out. We need to finish this. On Earth, Meridian and Solari forces continued their ground assault against collector bases. Ambassador Leary coordinated their efforts from an underwater command center. The human fleet is heavily damaged, a Meridian operator reported. They cannot hold much longer. They're giving everything to protect us, Ambassador Leary replied. We must ensure their sacrifice is not wasted. Inside the collector ship, the virus began to take effect. The flowing light patterns changed color, from cold blue to warm gold. The ship's systems flickered as the imprisoned consciousnesses fought for freedom. It's working, Leary exclaimed. The virus is spreading through their network. But their position was being overrun. High Commander Tarek took a severe wound protecting Kate from a collector drone. Alex helped him to his feet as they began their retreat. Leave me, Tarek insisted. I'll buy you time. No one gets left behind, Alex said firmly. All of us or none of us. They fought their way back toward their extraction point. But the path was blocked by collapsed corridors and collector forces. Alternate route, Kate suggested, pulling up the ship schematics. Through the maintenance tunnels. As they changed course, Sentinel's voice came through their communications. Commander, the virus is causing a cascade effect through the collector fleet. Their ships are losing power and coordination. We need to get out now, Alex urged his team. This whole ship could destabilize. In orbit around Earth, the human fleet saw their opportunity. Despite heavy damage, the Valiant and Relentless concentrated their remaining firepower on the Collector flagship. Admiral Martinez opened a channel to all Allied forces. The strike team has succeeded. All ships, engage with everything you have. USS Defender, which had been held in reserve, moved into position. Though heavily damaged, it was still operational. The Defender will ram the Collector command ship, Admiral Martinez announced. All other vessels clear the area. It's been an honor serving with all of you, humans, Meridians, and Solari alike. As the Defender accelerated toward the Collector, flagship Alex and his remaining team members reached a small maintenance airlock. They had one shuttle left, barely large enough for all of them. We have less than 2 minutes before impact, Kate warned. They piled into the shuttle, wounded and exhausted. As they detached from the Collector ship, they saw the USS Defender approaching on its collision course. Maximum thrust, Alex ordered. Get us clear of the blast radius. The small shuttle raced away from the massive Collector ship just as the Defender struck it. The resulting explosion was blinding, the shockwave catching their shuttle and sending it tumbling through space. When they regained control, they looked back to see the Collector command ship breaking apart. The cascade effect spread throughout the enemy fleet as ship after ship lost power and drifted away from Earth. We did it, Kate said softly. We actually did it. Their communication system crackled to life with a message from Earth. Ambassador, Leary's voice came through. Strike team, this is Earth Command. The Collector fleet is retreating, come home. Alex looked at his team, humans, Meridians, and Solari together. Many had been lost, including Admiral Martinez and a large portion of the human fleet. But Earth was safe. 6 months later, Alex stood at a memorial built on neutral ground between Meridian and Solari territories. The monument honored all who had fallen in the battle against the Collectors, people from all 3 species who had fought together. Maya had established an academy to share human knowledge with both Meridians and Solari. Lieutenant Kate was helping build a new defense system for the planet. Chief Engineer Ethan worked with Meridian scientists to develop sustainable technology. What will you do now? Leary asked, joining Alex at the memorial. Her father had become the first leader of the Unified Earth Council, where all 3 species had equal representation. I'm not sure, Alex admitted. Our mission is complete. Earth has new guardians now. You could stay, Leary suggested. Help us build this new world. Alex smiled. Maybe I will. He looked up at the sky, now protected by combined Meridian, Solari, and human defense systems. Sentinel, the last functioning AI from the human fleet, recorded these events and broadcast them to the stars. Whatever came next, the story of humanity would never be forgotten. It lived on in the determination, compassion, and courage shared by all of Earth's children. 500,000 years after humans were thought to have disappeared, their legacy continued, not just in the DNA of Earth's new inhabitants, but in the unity they had inspired in their final battle to protect their home.